I discovered the word because Valentino has some beautiful powders, and that's what I purchased here. So let's see what I purchased. I will open these boxes. This was an item that I purchased because I wanted the case. This was released for holidays. It's great. I admit I purchased this just for the packaging. Okay, so this is my first purchase, but the big thing is here because here I purchased all the rest. Okay. So I decided to pick the eyeliner. So this is very convenient because I have all my makeup usually ready to go makeup on my bathroom. And it's very difficult to find the things that I want. And with this red case, I'm sure I will identify the eyeliner. This has a eyeliner point that is brush tip. Let me show you here. Oh my gosh. This is as good as the Tom Ford one. Amazing. I knew that. I knew this was great. Is it made? Where is it made? Made in Korea. Okay, that is a guarantee of high quality. Great. And then there's another part where you have a standard pencil, but I like that it's retractable. And I chose the blue color. So there's the red, a burgundy, a blue, like this one, and brown, and also black. So black was another option, but it was sold out. So I chose the blue because since I have brown eyes, I couldn't decide between the blue and the brown. I may pick the brown in the future. I like it because it's not as soft as the Victoria Beckham, but I much prefer this because it's retractable. I don't need to sharpen it. I may use it more. And also is not so smudgy like the Victoria Beckham one. Let's see, I will report back about how it lasts on my eyes. I need to use it all day to test it, and then I will report back on this. But you've seen the swatches here. First impression is very good. And then I picked a concealer. So this is the latest release, let's say, from Valentino, one of the latest from Valentino. I think they have released lipsticks. I'm not a lipstick person, so... This is the shade I chose, and I chose this shade that is the red, is light red, the number 2. It is the one with cool pinkish undertone. And this is the swatch. You see some peachiness that I need for my under eyes. I seen medium coverage and very natural finish. Okay, it blends with my skin perfectly, so it's the perfect shade for me. And then I picked the stars of the show. So what I think is the best thing to invest in when it comes to Valentino Beauty, in my opinion, are the concealer, natural looking. It doesn't look makeup-y, so I would highly recommend this. But above all, I would recommend the powders. The powders are amazing because they have that smooth quality that is very similar to the Suku melting powder, but this is in, face powder form. So these powders are great. So that is why I selected them. These ones, the blushes, if you find a shade that you like. This is great, especially the eyeliner part with the brush tip applicator is great as well. So this is my selection, and after a ton of research and swatching in the store, etc. But the powder, the pressed powders from Valentino, so blushes or like this face powders or even the highlighters, are amazing. So now let's see the swatches of these. So I chose to pick number 2 light and number 3 that is light medium. There are 5 shades in total. Number 1 is almost white, so even my fair skin, I do not recommend that one. Then we have these two, so light and light medium. Then there's a shade number 4. I have a short where I swatched these colors. Number 4, I would recommend for medium skin. And then there's a shade deep that has a red undertone and is deeper than the one that they call universal bronzer. That is the one that I showed you in detail and swatched in my previous video. These are pressed face powders and they come in this refill packaging. It is red packaging. I will find a palette to fit these ones. They have a frame here and this part. You see this characteristic spongy-like texture. These are made in France, like the bronzer, I believe, yep. Here you have a brush that is very high quality, is a synthetic, but very velvety. Okay, they seem identical, right? But now that they are next to each other, let's check. This says number 3. This says number 2. When you place next to each other, you can notice what I noticed in the store, that number 2 has some coolness in it, leans more pink. And number 3 is not deeper, is just more yellow. You see? So this has a pink undertone and this has a more yellow undertone. I will swatch it. So this is number 3, and I have here number 2, the concealer. So I will put it below the number 2. The powder is soft and it has a sheen, and this made me, fond about it. I hope you can notice the difference. Number 3 is yellow and number 2 is more pink. I thought that both of them could be fantastic for me because sometimes I need to neutralize. I have more redness. I need to neutralize it. I want a slightly yellow undertone, and some other times I need some pinkiness. So this is very rare swatches. I haven't seen anybody swatching these face powders and show you the difference. So this is actually the difference between the two shades. On the pan, yeah, you can tell there's a slight difference. But what really stands out here is the formula. They are fragranced, but light. There's a light fragrance on them. So I couldn't tell. It's not strong as the Hermes blushes, for example. In those, I could smell it as soon as I open the case. While for Valentino, no, it's not so strong. Let me maybe swatch again the concealer. As this peculiar, let's say, applicator. I want to swatch it again. It's definitely closer to the powder, and you need to wait a bit because since it has water in it, it of course it will oxidize a bit and become darker. But yeah, these are the swatches. Powder number 3, concealer light R2. The concealer is LIGR number 2. And powder light number 2. Valentino provides high quality products, and the uniqueness of the powders is something that you need to try for yourself, in my opinion. I would recommend these, so until number 3, still for fair skin. There are some shades missing. I think that there's a huge gap between number 3 and number 4. So I would recommend to check my short here to see the other swatches. And see you in my next video. Bye bye.